Here we go. Looks like we are live. Everything's good. Okay, fantastic. Got my headphones on to tune out the world. So welcome to this week's session. I am having a go at this picture here. See if I can find the name of the person who took the photo. Where are they? Their name is Victoria Strelka. There you go, Victoria Strelka. I think they're a Russian-based photographer. Absolutely beautiful imagery. So I will have a go doing my best to might change my glasses. Do my best at doing it justice. Oh, that's so much better. All right. So some things to know. Where are we at? So I'm still sort of working on the background before I do their hair. And where I'm painting at the moment, the monitor I have is an older monitor and doesn't show colour as good as I'd like it to. Just gives me the image. And I know we've got up in here, this is going to be a turquoise coming down. This is going to be turquoise around the nape of his neck. But I want umbers and stuff like that in his hair. So I'll do that on my other desk so I've got a better reference picture. Today I'm just going to have a quick go at fixing his face. So I've laid in the background, and initially, if you're able to see his hand there, I had an underpainting of blue, which I'm slowly working other colours over the top of. Of course, he was blue, she was green, and that was the kicker between them. And then I'm cracking away at his ear, so let's just zoom in a little bit. And you probably see that his ear's okay. It's got a nice cool, it was red. I had some, in fact, I'll just go get them. Will I get them? Yes, I'll just go get my reds for a moment. So as I'm doing his ear, come here, scrap other pastels that are on my desk. Sorry, I'll be back in shot in a sec. So there we go. So the reds I'm using are these flesh tones. Let's put those in there. These are the pitch pastels, and they've got quite a nice 188, 189 and 132. So I quite like those, and I'm using them as my reds rather than the traditional sort of I tend to use this sort of red, which is a cooler red than a hot red. And I've taken to this raspberry. I quite like that, but I want to use that on her dress later. Anyway, so what I did was I made the mistake of doubting myself. And this happens quite a lot in painting, to doubt yourself. It's normal. Oh, there's that red. I was looking for that. And goodness, must get another one of those. Anyway, I started doubting myself, so I went and watched a YouTube on skin tones. Put those there. And there's quite a good video. I mean, lovely. Showed you how to do all these. One of those classic ones where they do a circle and then show the shading, and you've got a light side and a dark side. And it's got a 3D effect. It's quite nice. And there's quite a few of them floating around online. And so anyway, I do watch the video and I go, oh great, all I need is a yellow. Here we go. That was the yellow that they used, and I needed some sort of burnt sienna. Okay, got that, and a white, and there was something else. Can't remember. Anyway, what they didn't say on the video is that this is what skin looks like at midday under the bright sun. So here I was getting this beautiful dark skin, and then I wrecked it by following their directions, and he's in bright sun. It's not the YouTuber's fault or the artists. I just didn't think. I just went, oh, that's what they're doing. Let me go do that. And what a mistake that was. So now I've got to try and fix it. Let's get a wet wipe sorted. So anyway, I went back to doing flowers because I was really mad. But stuff like that happens all the time in art. You just start doing something and it just doesn't work out. So what we might do is we've got an indigo, and I saw I had a ultramarine floating around. Indigo. So this is the ultramarine. This is the indigo. So we'll use the indigo for the super darks, but we'll build up. I'm just going to do a little bit of work trying to desaturate his face from this sunny disposition he's suddenly got. Without going too dark. I'm trying. Do a little bit of exaggeration. And just blend it with yeah, so the indigo's not bad. I really just need to grey everything down. We're only going to just lightly, ever so lightly, Scrumble that. And then I'll go grab my brush, which I've left on my desk. And just brush that in. I do have a blender. Try that. So this little blender, there's a time when you could get these this was supposed to be for a touchscreen or something. Before they'd sort of really worked out. Apple pencils and styluses. But that was a good tip I picked up from an artist for instead of using Q-tips, which Q-tips are okay, but I find they leave little hairs. I'll get my brush. Ugh. Where's my brush? Just got to knock it right back and get it back to where I want it to be. You don't really know until you try. A lot of art has experimentation. And sometimes it's not luck, it's just things sometimes just pop into place. And you're like, oh, fantastic, that worked. And other times, you're like, what the heck? That didn't work. It's got a little bit of white. Where did you come from? And as I'm working on pastel matte paper, I'm going to grumble about pastel matte, as I always do. And you think it's the best paper in the world till you use it. And you'll find if the surface gets scratched, you just can't get rid of those scratches. They're there. You just got to try and work it into your picture. Convinced on that ultramarine, we might just put him aside for a bit. Quite like the indigo though, that was working for me. Just drop this on top to get a nice grayer. I need it a bit darker down there. Just a bit of green. So I've got another a different blue. What are you going to be like? Are you going to play nice? Yeah. Right. We've got another flower lined up. And I think I showed it on the last episode, last stream. It's got magenta and a green background. This is my main painting that I'm trying to get done. So I'm trying to get one. This is what I'd call a biggie. Because that's how I use words, biggie. What's that? Indigo gone. I had it a moment ago. It's not in my hand. Where are you? So many pencils. You're the ultramarine. Come on. Oh, there you go. Right in front of my face. Okay. Let's get a layer of this going. And when using pencils, they're hard pastel. Okay, they're not soft. So they're going to be scratchy. So what I recommend is you just go for your lightest possible touch on them. Rather than you just want it floating over the surface. Don't worry if it doesn't seem like there's a lot of pastel going on. There is a lot of pastel going on. Well, there isn't. But there will be if you suddenly try using them like colouring in pencils. So I totally recommend you don't do that. And as always, keep trying to find the contour. Just imagine you know where it is. It'll appear. Nothing wrong with faking it. till you make it. And really, what I need to get on his face with layers and layers of color, rather than the YouTube I watched that I was telling you, which only used 3 colors and was absolutely fine if all you wanted to do was skin in bright sunlight. But our skin here is not in bright sunlight. So what it needs is to look grayer. That's what we're after. We want grey. We can. We're going to use, ideally, I want to use the pencils to blend rather than a blender. Okay. This really feeling a lot better to me. Really mad. I yellowed him up. So we won't make that same mistake with here. We want to get to something really cool. Cold. That's what I need. Need something cold. I think that's the right red I want. We got too orangey, too reddy, and a cold red. This one. Just give it a sharpen. So we're using the edge of the pencil. Oh, don't tell me you're going to break. Right. Well, it's not a good one. Or this one. Nope. Yes. Always trying. Hey, Chi. Thank you for the coffee and hug. I needed those. Let's try that. Just see it, what it looks like. Yes, okay. It's okay. I'm working on fixing up the face. Gigi of this boy who saying before I'd watched a video on doing skin tones and then thought, oh, let's do that. And it turned out way too bright. And that was very sad because lost the vibe I was looking for. So we're doing some rescue work today and laying in some blues. And reds to try and cool it down. Oops. And I just started sharpening that pencil and it broke, which is like, what now? That's what happens. He just got a bit too yellow. And what he needs to be is much greener, greeny grey. That's what we need to get him back to. Probably a bit more white. He's got a lot more depth suddenly appearing now, so that's good. We can blue him down. Once we find an acceptable blue, where will I put that red? I'll put that red over there. Hopefully I won't forget I've put my red there. And maybe try this grey. Looks a little yellowy. See what that does. That music. Sorry, one sec. Just check my... Okay. All right. Where was I? I want a blue. I want a light blue. Try that white. There we go. It just knocks it back. That'll do it. Let's try this. Don't want you. when in doubt, do what you intuitively think should happen and just see what happens. I need some colour up there though. Okay. Okay. We're looking better. Not there yet. I suspect what will happen is that once I get his hair on, then I'll be able to see his face in relationship to his hair, and that will be a big help. This is an ultramarine. Just okay. Grey, which is good. The ultramarine I should have used for it's okay. I found it now. That's the key. Human. Okay. Much more shadowy now, so that's great. rays happening instead of sunbeams on his face. You can always lighten it up if you want to later. At the moment, I need to tone him right back. And say sometimes you should not go and watch someone else's YouTube. So you probably find that in watching my stuff, you go, well, I'll do what he's doing. And then you go and go, what the heck? That doesn't look right on my painting. Well, I'm trying to paint someone who's underwater. And the blue isn't intended to be the water. Just make that clear. It's knocking back the red. It's desaturating all that yellow that ended up on his face. And some will need to go back in for lights. For now, just grateful to get him back into shape. I'm not sure what our next be. I really need to do his hair. So he's got a big blob of hair coming in here somewhere. And there'll be a shadow. I can at least do the shadow. Let's get those hairs, shadows in early. We'll brush that down. Let's knock it back. There we go. It's still like I need to get some of this dark blue that I'd done before. If I only knew what I'd use for my blues. I actually think I used these. And I must have used this one, which is a maroon. This is the Cabathello 330. If you want to get that, it's fantastic. Yeah. There we go. Now we're getting into our darks. Much better. So we want to get some sort of contrast going on. Okay. Now we're talking. That was that blue I had. Oh, put these things down. Don't think it was you. Good grief. It wasn't you. It was another one. Oh well. You're going to have to do. No, it wasn't that one. I don't want to use it if I don't know which one it was. Here it is. Right, the bits where we hadn't. Get that. Get a beautiful little mauve mixing. So this is the Derwent Ultramarine 29D. It's a sort of mid-tone. It might be a step down. It's not a tint. And that magenta, such a powerful colour in the toolbox. Use it for blacks. We really want to get quite black in here. Come on. Okie dokie. Here's that cold look I was looking for. So great, let's put those two down. 3. And we'll just get a little darker. Just as lightly as ever, scrumble that. And can we pull that? Find a scraper. Where is my, there it is. Let's just show you my desktop and you'll see why I can't find anything. Okay, there's pencils everywhere. And if we were to go around this way, we got pencils everywhere and pan pastels and get back to the picture. There we go. So I just can't find anything because I've got an untidy desk. What do they say? Untidy desk, untidy mind. That's what they say, but I wanted this little scraper. Let's see if I could just... Okay. Pull that. on it. Just a little bit of lip work. Chin a little bit. These are just little silicone blenders. Clearly, I will now put that somewhere where I won't find it again. It's much better. Lovely blue-grey. Slightly lighter one. I feel like I'm starting to get somewhere. Certainly got away from that nasty yellowy. You can still see a little bit around his ear. Try and fix that. Come on. That's why I try and do the hair last or later in the games, because it gives me a spot to rest my my hand without getting pastel everywhere. Let's get that. There we go. All these sort of unusual curves around the mouth, the muscles. I want a really light. Oh, do we have a super light blue? You look like you've got some violet in you. Let's go back to this grey, see if I can do something with that. Actually want that dark in there. So let's get eye action going. Go. A bit better. Too blue. Okay. Don't be shy with your blues. Actually, do be shy. I think what I'm trying to at least share what I've learnt with pastels. This particular stream is oh, thank you, Gigi. That's a lovely comment. We're getting there, eh? It's like just got to be patient. Yeah. A bit of scrumbling here and there. Go over with our lights and darks. And it will appear. Going to leave this sort of yellowy bit on his. This is all going to be hair coming in here, by the way. So it just puts a bit of a hairline in there. And I need to blend that. I'll try the brush. Just gently, please. And knock it all off. Okay. Just brush to the contours. Nice. Yes, I need some brighter yellows, and it comes now on his ear. So we've now got much more tonal together with the ear, and so that is starting to come together. That's not so bad. Could be much worse. He says, could be much worse. Get in on that kiss. A bit more. A bit darker. Essence of a lip. Okay. Maybe a different red. Maybe I would get that raspberry red. Raspberry or crimson, I think. It's in there. Raspberry up here. And blend that. Sometimes the colours, you sort of got to give them a bit of a clean the lead. I know it's not lead, it's pastel, but it can be if it's not. So come off. Just a touch. Okay, I just want some very gentle highlights. We're going to grey out. Where is the blender? No, it's too harsh. Brush. Wow, it's just lifting it straight off. Okay. I don't want to put down the hour. I need something that's magenta. Crimson's actually pretty good. That in there. Nice. All right. Well, I think that's probably it for today. What I've done today is I've rescued his face. If you see the start of the video, you'll see just how terrible it was. It's absolutely ghastly for being underwater, and I needed to get it closer to the ear. So let's just zoom out so you can see the thing in context. Because when you're up close to the picture, it's, you know, your brain actually has to stand back and fill in all the little gaps. But we've got a bit of a light. So these are these things running down here, the little refractions. So I want a refraction in his face. And she's going to have a refraction coming down her arm as well. So I'll probably do his here next and then start on her. Oh, actually, I should probably work a little bit more on his hands. I have learned that it's once you start doing a skin tone, it's best to stick with it. Otherwise, you just forget. You have so many, if you're like me, you'll have so many pastel pencils and pastels all over the place. You'll go, I can't remember what colours I used, and then you get annoyed with yourself and stop the painting. And that's no fun. We want to do stuff that makes us feel excited, and this particular painting, I'm back to feeling excited. So that's nice. So thank you so much for joining. Thanks for your comments, Gigi. That was really encouraging. I really appreciate that. And I may be back later in the week. This was kind of an impromptu, let's just get on with it stream. All right, have a great week, and we'll see you again hopefully soon. Cheers.